Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia, that's me. And for today's video, the background music is provided by the one and only Finnish average weather. I know the camera is not catching all the millions of water drops coming down right now. But anyway, I think this might be actually a good thing because most people find this kind of sound actually a little bit relaxing. And puzzles are for relaxing, right? Well, not exactly for today's video, because today we're going to see if I would have qualified in the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships in the qualification round A. So as most of you already know, I participated in the Worlds, but I was in the qualification round F, which actually had this puzzle, Panorama, Nature Edition, very hard one. And I did qualify. However, I believe most people think, including myself, that the A group had even harder puzzle. I think this might have been like the second hardest puzzle in all qualification rounds, but I think this is definitely the hardest. Also the Nature Edition. And also if we look at the statistics, they kind of backing me up with this argument because only 34 people actually got this finished in the max time limit of 90 minutes. And if you didn't know, each round has approximately 100 participants. So today we're going to see, first of all, if I would have finished this puzzle in that 90 minutes time limit, and if I don't, would have I still qualified? This is going to be pretty exciting because, as I have told you multiple times, I was already struggling with this Nature Edition puzzle, and also I was so worried there because I have done Nature Edition before, for example this one, and my first time doing this took me 1 hour and 42 minutes. This is really hard type of puzzle for me, and even on my second time doing this, I think I managed to do this in 1 hour and 29 minutes. So pretty much touch and go. Of course, I have shown some development since I did this for the first time. But let's see. Let's just go straight into it. Let's do this puzzle. I will put the timer counting down. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. I have to say my preparation today was not spot on. First of all, I realized I need to put a ponytail on my hair, and then I realized I haven't checked if the pieces are actually mixed, because this is a puzzle I traded with my pair who was actually in the group A. Then I was about to put my time on, I realized I don't have my puzzle box holder, then I realized I don't have my glasses. So, but yeah, finally, here we go. And shocking surprise that I am flipping the pieces first. And while I was flipping, I already identified that I want to start with this kind of like a middle line that separates the sky and kind of like the lower nature department. And I actually did the same with the panorama puzzles, and I think most people also in the world actually did this. And it kind of makes sense because those are easy to recognize. And then even though the sky wasn't a gradient, as you can see here, it was very clear that there is kind of like this sun. Well, it's actually not the sun in the middle, it's behind the clouds, like here in Finland right now. But it was like clearly yellow, then going a little bit orange, and then to the blue area. So it was quite easy to do it in the same strategy you would use with the gradient sky. And it took me some time to actually realize when the frames are already coming from above. So here you can actually see I have this piece, it already goes there. I'm like, come on, put it. Yes, yes, finally. And so it was quite easy when I got the first ones. Then I just started putting the frames in and, you know, kind of like just looking at the shape, and the frames were pretty much gradient. Yeah, but that was basically only like 20 or 21 minutes for the sky. And of course that 20 minutes also includes like flipping the pieces. That usually takes a few minutes for me. So that was surprisingly fast. But as I told you, I've done the Nature Edition before, and I had the really same experience that the sky part was like really fast. But then basically I was doing over an hour just the lower part. So that may happen here as well. And yeah, I think my strategy here was just to take the frame pieces separately. I wasn't able to actually put them that easily together right away, but at least they were there. And then I really understand why people also in the world started to doing kind of like the higher row of flowers that were like smaller. That's my dog. Because there was also like kind of like these blue flowers on the left corner. But other than that, I think holy moly. Other than that, I think those were quite easy to put together because the background of those flowers above were different. It looks almost like sand, but then on the flowers that were on the lower section had more like leaves in the background. So anyway, I totally understand why people did those super colorful pink flowers in the end. They were super hard. And also it was much easier to find, for example, those, after I did the above flower row, I started doing those that were kind of like on the right side, like a medium sized, just because there was so much little, like less pieces for those. And then I was actually looking for these completely like green, almost black pieces, because only there was a few of them. And then I kind of left the pink pieces in the end. And yeah, we are about to reach 1 hour. So my pair, I think she did this in like 53 minutes or something. Like that's just crazy to me. But yeah, as said, sometimes I just get stuck with the last pieces, so you never actually know what's gonna happen. But so far this seems to be going quite well. And yeah, here you can see I really struggle, like I barely get anything in. I'm kind of like doing something, but nothing happens. So I was trying to like find like kind of like the side pieces for those big flowers. Then I also realized that those lower parts of those flowers are actually looking like they're in the shadow. So they're kind of like more darker. So I was trying to find those. And then like the super colorful that were like having like bigger, I don't know, it's hard to explain. And yeah, here I am actually about to finish. This is crazy because I mean, this is such a hard puzzle. And sometimes I barely do like easy puzzles with this kind of time because it looks like I'm about to finish very soon. And you probably missed it, but I did shape sorting in the end. So now you can see I literally only have these very basic pieces left because there was like most of pieces were that shape. So I left them in the end because it was easier to shape sort, like not shape sort, but find the shapes of the other pieces first. And oh my god, we're ready already. I can't believe this. This is crazy. What? This time is just crazy to me. Like I was pretty sure that I would have not been able to do this with the 90 minutes limit. I'm pretty sure that I would have qualified with like the amount of pieces I got in, but like 1 hour and 12 minutes for me feels like so crazy with this puzzle. So if I would have actually been in the group A in the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships, I would have placed 15th, which is actually pretty much the same as I did in my own group, because in the group F qualification round I was 16th. So yeah, look, I'm so happy with this. I would like to know, do you want to see me doing more of the puzzles from the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships that I actually haven't done, but you know, from the other qualification rounds, the other semifinals? I'm still thinking about finishing the bare final puzzle someday. But let me know in the comments and I will see you next time. Bye bye!